Welcome to the first edition of the ASE Tax Blog. Each month I'm going to talk about a tax issue which affects motor retailers and either poses a risk to you or provides an opportunity to you. This month I'm actually going to talk about a VAT issue, which is the zero rating of the sale of adapted vehicles to disabled customers. We're classing this as a red issue, which means that there's a high likelihood of an error arising and also a large risk of HMRC raising an assessment if they come out and undertake an inspection visit. The issue we've got is that we've had lots of rule changes with effect from the 1st of April 2017, and you already know this was an exceptionally difficult area to deal with anyway. So what are the changes? First of all, customers are now only allowed one vehicle zero rated every 3 years. There are only very limited exceptions to this 3-year rule. So for example, if the original vehicle was destroyed or the person's medical condition has changed, then you might be able to zero rate another vehicle to them within that 3-year period. The thing you've got to remember though is that this 3-year clock only starts with the first sale from April 2017. So you don't need to worry about anything else that you've sold to them before this. I know that lots of you have customers who come in that get a zero rated vehicle every time there's a plate change. Unfortunately, with these new rules, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So they're only going to be allowed that one vehicle every 3 years. So they could obviously buy from you, but you're going to have to charge full VAT on those extra vehicles that they purchase. We've also got 2 new forms that need to be completed over and above the declaration that we're all used to filling in. These forms also ask for a lot more information than we used to send to HMRC. So for example, if someone is buying the vehicle on behalf of the customer, you now need to show that on the forms. These forms also need to be sent to HMRC within 12 months, which is very different from the way it was in the past because they didn't know you'd undertaken these transactions. So now, because you're sending them in, they're going to know every single one of these transactions that you've undertaken. Full details of all of the different rules and also links to the 2 forms can be found in VAT Notice 1002. Now you need to be taking steps now to make sure that you pick up any mistakes and make sure you're following the new rules. I'm recommending that you circulate details of all of these new rules to everyone who might be involved in this type of transaction. You're also meant to take reasonable steps to make sure that you've actually followed these new rules and all of the conditions for the zero rating has been met. So for example, I think you should have some kind of process in place where you can check whether you've sold a vehicle to the same customer within the last 3 years. You also need to take steps to make sure that you're sending these forms into HMRC within that 12-month period. Now personally, I think holding on to these forms for 12 months is way too long. I think you need to be sending them in at least every quarter. So I think you should incorporate something as part of your existing quarter-end procedures. And you should already be checking any zero-rated transaction that takes place in a quarter. So this should just be a very easy bolt-on to those existing systems that you've got. Now, this is only a very brief introduction to these new rules, so if you need any help or you've got any questions, then please just email me on the email address that's on the screen. Thank you for watching, and we'll be releasing our next blog post on our website on Monday the 19th of June.